It's Whiteboard Wednesday, and for those of you who know me well, I have come from a generation of teachers, and I love using a whiteboard. So here we are, and I was thinking about it, and last week we left all of us with what we called the gap. Let's see if I can turn it around. Someday this will be very professional, maybe, or I'll be on to another project. But in the meantime, we were talking about where are we today and what is it we really want to create a beautiful life. And I was thinking about this and I was like, oh, the whole thing ties in so great, because if I don't want to be a victim and I don't want to be a villain and I'm not ready to be the guide yet or don't quite know what I'm guiding to, then my other option is to do a ho-hum life or to go on the great adventure of creating a beautiful life and become the hero of my own story. And in doing that, a hero, if he could or she could be the hero and be the conquering whatever, would already have done it. So part of the whole idea of creating a beautiful life is that we have to do this by design, and we're going to hit places that we just really don't have the skill set or the experience to know what to do. Which led us last week, if you remember, to where do I want to be versus where I am, and what is that gap? It's the growth gap. So I was checking out Rewiring the Brain by Barbara Stanny. I think that's the title. I'll get back to you on that. And she had in her book, again, another one of my favorite authors, she had in her book what I would call the stages of growth. We're going to get over to that in a minute. And I thought, once you decide to be a hero, we needed to quote Obi-Wan to Luke as he said, you are taking your first step into a larger world. Having said that, we then hit, what do we do with this stinking gap? And I love it. If you really go back to it, in stage one, we're unconscious and incompetent. We don't even know what we don't know. And what that person needs in stage one, I believe you're living a ho-hum life going along, and a rake is probably going to come at some point and catch you off guard, and you're going to go like, wow, wait a minute, I have a gap in where I want to be to where I want to go. Stage two, so this stage one, what does a person need in that stage? In my opinion, to live the beautiful life, you need a wake-up call. Let's call that a wake-up call. Or a rake, stepping on a rake. Or the other thing is, honestly, some sort of trauma or life challenge hits us and you just really don't have the skill set to know what to do. That was my story. I hit some real challenges that I was way over my head in. Second stage then is we become conscious, but now we're incompetent. There's no way. We don't know how to solve the problem. We don't have the skill sets. We don't have the experience. In stage two, what you really need is you really need hope. Hope that you're going to get through it, because there's nothing worse than seeing the gap, knowing the gap, heading towards the gap to grow, but feeling like this is not coming easily at all. I love it then. Don't give up hope, because hope always is around the corner as you stay in it. That's usually when we go looking for a guide. And then stage three is you become unconscious but competent. In other words, I can't do this just naturally. I can brush my teeth. I don't even have to think about it. But in stage three, I really have to think about every move that I'm making. I'm really putting in the effort to get it done. And what I need there is just lots of practice. And then stage four, voila, it truly does happen. There comes a point when you're conscious and you're competent. In other words, I can brush my teeth without even thinking it. It's just who I am and how I do life. And what I love about Mary Angelou, she said, now that I know better, I do better. And that is the hero on the journey. The hero on the journey does not beat themselves up because they were unconscious and incompetent. Instead, they give themselves a lot of grace and a lot of understanding that it is a process. And then they do something every day to take that one little step, one little bit of edge in that growth. And that is our Whiteboard Wednesday. May you figure out where you are, and may you get the support you need to actually take that next step, knowing that there'll come a point when it just becomes who you are.